going live.
The hell it says stream is live.
There we go.
Oh, so live.
Mm-hmm.
New interface, boys.
Who dis?
I'm learning as we go. Oh, that was an explosion.
Hey, I've got an email question. Oh,
Yeah,
hey,
you got an
everybody.
email question?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Comic Space Presents a Perfectly Acceptable Podcast where you can hear the audience laughing.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.
All right,
Roman, don't
Django,
thank
you're
them.
losing up your last little bit of patience.
It's a new interface. It's not me.
Okay,
It's
all
this.
right.
It's this interface. I'm sorry,
You
buddy.
can't help it. This
I
man,
didn't even touch it.
we've talked about soundboards for a long time, but it was always intended to not be in Django's hands. Every conversation, all of the audio files. I don't know what he found or how he found them, but he has them. This is a comic book podcast brought to you from the cradle of nerd civilization, Bellingham, Washington, the Pacific Northwest, the yawning maw of where people go to love things earnestly. That's how we describe ourselves. It's on the t-shirt, it's on the tattoos, it's on the stickers, the bumper stickers. It's all 2-inch tall, 9-inch wide landscape shots that say the yawning maw of nerd civilization. I am Jeff Figley.
I'm yawning Django.
I'm Ma Roman.
Jeff,
Roma.
this week complete with last name, accessory action figure with accessory last name. If you peel open the back and send 4 proof of purchases, then you get his middle name. Also, Alderson is a red fish. Yeah, there it is. There it is. It's good. I think professional podcasts have the soundboard audio a little lower so that the audio doesn't have to stop when
How's
it's
that?
going.
Better?
It's a yawning
Lower?
maw. It's a yawning maw. Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about since the last time we were here. The last time we were here, Django was off. I think we can only describe it as one thing, gallivanting. And
Gallivanting through the maw.
Roman and I were here shouldering the weight, carrying the load, walking the water pails, training like the 3 ninjas did before they were on that boat where they were like kidnapped, and like the ninjas had kidnapped their family and they had to put their masks on. 3 Ninjas references. God, I hang out with people that are older than me. What am I gonna do? You guys, a lot has gone on. We're back. We're on the other side of some big things like San Diego Comic Convention. We're on the other side of Spider-Man Bronze New Day, and I've seen it 2 times. Jenny, you've seen it 2 times?
Seen it twice, yeah.
So Roman,
Wow.
you've seen it twice also?
Already 2 times? No, I haven't. Only
Worth
one.
mentioning if you're listening to this and or watching it, because you can always watch this on our YouTube channel. You can
And
also see
Facebook.
it live streamed on Facebook and
Everywhere.
YouTube. But clearly our focus is on the live. So like, can you hear this? I don't know. You're watching it. We are here with you watching this video. I forget where I was going with that. It was somewhere good though. Somewhere
I bet
good
it was.
though. Watching
the
it,
build-up was excellent.
YouTube. Oh, if you are here with us, you know a lot of these things already. But Django,
Yeah.
we like to start this stuff in a kind of traditional way. We've sort of transitioned to a spot where our intro is served by a man on a mission with a backpack in the wild and a remote satellite phone he can call us from wherever he goes. Is that correct?
That's correct. William Elmer himself.
Feet on the street, the man with a plan, youth on a mission. Will Elmer has sent us a correspondence. I don't know where he is in the wild this week, but I cannot wait to find out. So join me, friends, as we listen to our friend and satellite reporter, William Elmer, share with us.
Hello and happy episode number 433.
Yeah.
33?
Yeah.
33. Let's go with it. My friends, I'm standing in here in a near empty house, not quite
Sounds like it.
there, but very close. And I've been moving. You know this, but it feels like I've been doing it for like centuries now. Maybe probably more realistically like a 2-month process. And it's pretty exhausting. Super worth it, but very exhausting. And it left me wondering, what's something incredibly exhausting that you guys have been working on recently, but has been totally worth it? Anything. Tell me something. Tell me something new. Tell me something I don't know. Make it juicy. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Fortunately for us, I think I will find nothing but agreement and support when I say, William, you just made it juicy for us. So whatever we're about to say is going to slip off this chair. Roman, what have you been working on that's work?
It's not juicy, but it's pretty boring stuff, but it's satisfying. I've been slowly getting rid of some of the junk around my apartment and selling some things off and that kind of thing. Kind of slowed down during the summer though.
A little Statler death cleaning, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Swedish Statler death cleaning. The death
I've given away
cleanse.
so many things to coworkers and stuff. I'm just always amazed because I'm like, really? You want this? Okay.
I'm really grateful that you haven't given me those things.
I've been secretly giving Erica all sorts of crap.
I'm a man who likes to buy and collect things, but has run out of room like a year or two ago. So I'm just anything that comes into my home is in a oh shit state.
I've been trying to break that bad habit I used to have of. I live in the York neighborhood, lots of college students, and I have a bad habit of finding things like, oh, cool, somebody left that on the sidewalk. I'm taking it and putting it in a corner of my apartment, thinking I'll give this to somebody someday or sell it, and then it sits here for 8 years. And
yeah. Collecting things that you don't have a direct goal or spot for, I would say, is a bad move. Django could tell us an interesting story about that from Santiago.
Can I?
Computer monitors on the street, clearly freshly lifted from a legitimate source, left. It seems like they stole the cords for them.
It was super tempting to bring them back and set up a 3-monitor system for Comic Shop Assistant while we were there, but they didn't have the cables or the cords, so we didn't do that. You know what I've been working out?
What have you been working on and working out?
I've been working pretty hard on getting this, what I can only assume to be giant tonsil stone out of my throat, and it's a real bummer.
You know,
for a week.
Yeah, flashback to Mexico together. Tonsil stones are a horrible thing, and if you are listening to this or watching it, dear listener viewer, and you don't know what they are, you should Google them because you probably have some relationship with them.
Close your eyes and make Siri read it to you, though.
When Django and I were in Mexico, I was nursing a week-old tonsil stone the whole time that didn't get unlodged until I came back. Django, I'm a little bit further ahead in the tonsil stone journey than you because I spend my time dwelling on tonsil stones, looking into the research associated with having your tonsils removed because of tonsil stones.
I've been thinking about that a lot this week. I think probably step one for me is going to be better hydration.
Yeah, I've been really aggressive with the tongue scraper since Mexico.
Yeah, never hurts.
You know, lot of things to focus on. But that is a good thing to be working on, Django. You know, I got mine unlodged from Mexico, and that was maybe the most strong and enduring tonsil stone since then. But I've been working on some other stuff.
Yeah, what are you working on?
What?
Well, I'm definitely working on Demon's Souls, the final fourth game in my unplayed From Software quadrology, and I'm about halfway through that. But I haven't played it as much as I would like in the last couple of weeks. But you know, I got to get back in the flow, got to get back in the zoom of it all. But so that's something that I'm working on that's worth it. I'm working on getting caught up with the giant stack of comics I have. Django and I have each had like a week, like 2 of the last 4 weeks we've been gone, which means my stack of comics is in disarray. But one thing that I've been working on that is germane, like the Flight of the Conchords, man, to this podcast would be I received a gift apropos nothing out of the blue a couple of days ago from my co-host Django Boren, a comic page, in fact, a cover which I've never had before, but an original piece of art that was the cover of the comic Ghost Tree issue number 2. So listeners and viewers of the podcast may remember years ago a comic series that was coming out called Ghost Tree. It was a 4-issue, IDW, Dark Horse.
I think it was IDW. Pretty sure it was IDW or Boom.
Yeah, mini series that I loved at the time and haven't read since then. But Django, in kind of a perfect moment, gave me a gift of a comic book cover original art for a comic series I haven't read in a while, but was one that was good to reread yesterday, which I reread when I went to the Ren Fair. So Ghost Tree is a thing that I have been working on pretty diligently and finishing, but that was all just one day's task.
Nice.
Yeah. That book is still really good. Yeah. It's got that Flex Mentallo thing, I think, where when you read it at various stages of your life, you can get different things out of it. So getting that piece of art was very cool as an invitation to engage in something that, can now mean various things. So Django, thank you so much, buddy. That page is beautiful and I love it.
It's every time we're on a podcast and we talk about original art, I've been looking at that page on that website and thinking, I don't know if I can do that for Jeff. And then eventually it was like, I kind of got to do this for Jeff.
I can't think of a book's piece of art that could be an invitation for like an emotional journey as pleasant as that, as often as it could be. Like that's Jimmy and I both have a little nostalgic corner in our brains, whether he chooses to admit it or not. And that book represents that nostalgic corner very well. So to have a beautiful piece of art there, I'm very excited. Now I just got to figure out where I'm going to hang it because it's damn good, y'all.
It deserves some hanging.
It deserves some hanging, just like you, Django.
Yeah, me. Zam.
So usually the intro that I was getting to, is sent to us by Will. Django, you tackled the thing that you've been working on?
The thing I've been working on, the tonsil stone? Yes.
Okay, cool.
I've been working on it this whole time. That's my secret.
Yeah. Dude, tonsil stones are the worst, y'all. I don't think they're talked about enough. They need to be like, after you have your 8th grade health class about like, this is what a rubber does. This is what a rubber does. And this is how you put it on. And this is an STD that'll kill you. Also, we got to talk tonsil stones because they're bad and they'll burden you. But nobody does that. You just spend your life being like, am I working on something in the back of my throat that I think tastes bad, that I can feel all the time?
What's wrong with my body?
Yeah. We need to have that discussed more. But before we get into this, I want to read this email from the Eisers. No, I want to read this question from my friend and yours, Craig Mueller, who we're recording this episode 433, Queen in Black, a little bit earlier in the day than normal. Django and I are still on East Coast time, so it's like 7:30 for our biological clocks, where in reality it's 4:30 for our physical clocks. But Craig Mueller has asked, Indiana Jones versus Rick O'Connell, who wins? Craig, let the best archaeologist win, Mueller. Well, none of that means anything to me, Django.
Indiana Jones.
I don't remember who Rick O'Connell is, so I'm going to go Indiana Jones.
I also don't know who Rick O'Connell is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, busy yourselves for a moment while I look it up.
But regardless, it's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Oh, it's pretty good, guys.
Really?
It's pretty good.
Who's this Rick?
It's Brendan Fraser in The Mummy.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
He's my generation's Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
I rewatched that movie recently, and I gotta say, I feel like Brendan Fraser was phoning it in on that one.
Careful, Roman.
I do think
we need Jeff to stick around for the rest of this podcast.
I do think that in like a Forbes or Vogue interview, they do the thing with like pick between your roles, like, Bedazzled or Blast from the Past, and he has to pick, and they do like a tournament thing, and at the end of it, he did give his favorite role to The Mummy.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just impressed you mentioned Blast from the Past, because that's a fun Brendan Fraser movie.
Yeah, it's a fun one. He's been a big part of my life And then his turn into the whale at the very end has been a wonderful ascension to the state of talented actors. But I'm going to give that to Indiana Jones for sure. For sure.
I mean, it's Indy, right?
Yeah.
Have you started watching Frasier's new cartoon series where he's a bear?
Never seen any Frasier. Are you saying Frasier the psychologist or Brendan Fraser?
No, Brendan Fraser.
He's a bear?
He's a bear. I can't remember.
What is
It's a cartoon show on Tubi, a series that's based on Breaking Bad. Breaking Bear. Breaking Bad.
I pay for subscription, so I don't need to watch Tubi.
Oh,
yeah.
But Tubi's got so much. It's so great. It's got everything.
Yeah.
It's got Breaking Bear.
Yeah, and when I'm desolate and alone with no savings, I will definitely plumb the depths of Tubi. But until then, I'm gonna watch my The Bear and my Vanderplump Rules. Django, Roman, that covers the bases of the beginning of this thing. I feel like it's been kind of a big week. So before I uncork Roman, Django, is there anything from San Diego Comic-Con worth mentioning? Ignition's pop-up was incredible. Matt Live's birthday was deeply memorable. The Eisners were an absolute blast, even though the awards had been leaked, but Django and I abstained from reading the leaks. But it does mean that someone who does our jobs but better won an Eisner that was at our table.
That was awesome.
Yeah. What is your brain about?
Man, everything you said, and the sunshine was beautiful, and the place we were staying was awesome and hilarious. And
that's what I wanted people to know about from you.
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
We got a really nice Airbnb about a half-hour walk from the con.
Most well-equipped Airbnb I've stayed in since the beginning of Airbnb.
Yeah, like they had kids stoves and high chairs if you wanted them. They had 3 different types of coffee makers for your preference. They had a bedroom that we didn't even expect, like an extra bedroom.
A master switch to those kids' stoves so that they couldn't burn down the house.
Yeah, it was a really nice place. And I don't even want to say except that. I'm going to say, and also every 6 minutes, an airplane flew overhead about 60 feet over you.
Because we were
maybe 60 feet.
Right underneath the runway for an airport. So Django's got a really good video. Airplane B&B. Airplane B&B. Blake.
That's pretty good, Blake.
That's good, buddy. That's good. It was exactly that. It was... So Django, let's clear the air. Let's clear the room as well. Those didn't affect your sleeping at all?
I might have gotten up a little bit before I would have normally, but if I'm in a deep sleep, there's nothing that's going to wake me up.
It was a really interesting. So Django and I stayed together in the same room for many years when we leave town together. And Django's, I'm not gonna.
You don't have to sugarcoat it or nothing.
No, I'm not gonna. Django has a bit of a snoring issue. And this time we checked into this Airbnb and we were like, oh, dope. We're in different rooms. That's new and crazy. So I had this separate room. However, until about 1 o'clock in the morning, from like 6 o'clock to the morning, there was airplanes flying over us, landing, and it was insane. It was insane. It was. I don't mean to be a problematic sleeper, but I am, and I have been my whole life. I just don't do it that well. For those of you who fall asleep quickly and get a deep rest, you have a type of blessing that I'm deeply envious of. But this was like, I had to resort by the end of it to the wax earplugs that I have to use when I sleep in the same room as Django, which was a nice kind of, again, parting gift. Like, oh, we're sleeping in separate rooms, but I still have the echo of you.
Just setting you up for success through hardship. That's been the last 4 years.
Yeah. And that's why you're a mentor. But yeah, there's a good video on Django's Facebook. For those of you who have not seen it or heard it, you should check it out. Find Django's Facebook, Django@facebook.com. Actually don't know at all how to do that. But that's one thing I wanted to get out of our air. The second thing that I need a little de-smogging of is to talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day, which came out this week. We've all seen it at least once. Guys, can you take the floor here? Spider-Man Brand New Day. What did you guys think of it? Did you like it? Did you like the other ones? What's up?
I liked it. Watching it a second time, I don't think made me like it more. But it's absolutely entertaining. It has some nice homages. I felt like they left a lot of potential fan service on the table. Just in like, I didn't see any crazy guest stars. I didn't notice any references to things that weren't like very overt references to previous
Peter David street signs.
comics
You
or
saw
whatever.
that?
I didn't catch the Peter David street sign, but there were so many numbers in the background, and none of them were like important issue numbers that I could divine.
What about that awesome visual homage to Amazing Fantasy 15?
Oh yeah, I mean all the cover stuff in the beginning montage was super good.
I laughed out loud both times I saw it at that, and didn't notice anybody else laughing.
At the McFarlane thing?
No, at the like Amazing Fantasy 15, like holding the criminal while swinging
Mhm.
around a building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just today I priced up Spectacular Spider-Man 1, which is the dude with
tarantula
the boot.
kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no legitimate complaints about that movie. I thought it was really fun, and I saw it twice in 2 days. So,
Roman, what'd you think of it?
I really liked it. A lot of fun. I can't wait to see it a second time. I was surprised that and very happy that the stuff we saw in the trailers.
Oh my god!
So much of it, they got it out of the way like right in the beginning of the movie. I was like, oh, good. So that's because I was afraid the whole movie half the movie was going to be him fighting the hand. No,
Yep.
that's just a visual.
Just a
Well,
little
same
amuse,
feeling.
whoosh.
Yeah.
And it tricked me because I tried to avoid spoilers, but I did hear about one of them. But by the time I saw the movie, I'd forgotten because it was like 2 months ago. So I was completely surprised about
Spoilers, everyone! Spoilers!
No spoilers about
Okay.
who the villain turned out to be. I was racking my brain for spider villains, and they tricked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So similarly, when I went and saw Spider-Man 3, Long Way Home, No Way Home, some word with home, the third one, I had managed to not have anything spoiled for me. So like when the two previous Spider-Man actors showed up, it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I loved it. And I would say in my modern life, the first like superhero movie I remember seeing was the first Tobey Maguire movie with my dad on the very first free comic book day. So we drove 2 hours to go to a free comic book day. We got free copies of Ultimate Spider-Man #1, and then we went and saw that movie. So these ones have a sort of special spot for me. But yeah, going into that one, I didn't want there to be any possibility that if there was something emotionally impactful, like the recurring members of the cast showing up, I didn't have it spoiled. So this one didn't have anything quite insane like that go on. But I did like 10 minutes into the movie, I kind of had the realization of like, I think that I have not seen a single trailer for this outside of the very beginning of the first one where he's like upside down.
Wow.
So I was like, I have no idea what's going to happen. I saw the hand was on the poster. But like that was a fun feeling.
That's awesome.
And similarly, they got a bunch of villains that I remembered hearing casting for out of the way in the first like 10 minutes. But yeah, though that franchise has instilled in me the desire to like not have things spoiled for me because it's real special.
Yeah.
But there is a large character introduction that is pretty meaningful to the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And we don't realize who that is for a while, even having some clues with their powers. So similarly, Roman, I was just like racking my brain for like, who could this be? Is this Madam Web? Like, what is this happening? And I like what they did. I can't help but also feel like I wouldn't have minded if it was specifically like Spider-Man villain and characters. But I think the way that Spider-Man appeared in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was in Civil War, kind of as like a throw-in thing because they'd gotten the rights to him. So in this fourth movie, having the villain and this character that ties to some other franchises be kind of the reveal was pretty awesome for me. I have no problem with it. I think that the character that was the quote unquote villain, that was the reveal, I think it would have been detrimental to the Marvel Cinematic Universe to have that character and their family like introduced in their own new movie, like kind of leaking it in was the right thing to do. And then I will also mention that like the Punisher is a character that like there are some comic runs I enjoy of that character, but for the most part, it's a character that I do not care about. The Punisher, you know, just that's a lot of testosterone for this guy. And John Bernthal's characterization of the Punisher is amazing. I haven't seen, is it just in Daredevil or is there a Punisher season at this point?
There's a couple of Punisher seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of special.
It made me feel like it would be worth watching. Like John Bernthal makes the Punisher amazing. One of the tear-filled moments I had in that movie was with the Punisher. So that was pretty effing incredible in my mind. I don't know that it emotionally hit me with the same volume that 3 did, but I loved it very much. And then for those of you who have played it, the Insomniac Spider-Man games are so good. And the first like 20 minutes of it, both times I watched it, are like a visual homage to the games. Like they're doing more work doing a live action adaptation of the games than any other thing. And I think that works to the character's kind of cinematic run advantageously because that game is awesome. And like the physics of it and the fighting style and the tanks and everything are like, bam, they lifted that perfectly. And I think a lot of people, that's their main Spider-Man kind of touchstone at this point. So loved it a lot. Made me cry up both times. The main thing I will have to say is that Marvel, Disney, Mickey, whoever I've got to talk to, the next Marvel Disney Plus TV show that you do needs to just be 6 episodes of Peter and Mary Jane being a romantic story. Like put the superheroes aside because I cannot get enough Tom Holland and Zendaya. So good. Love it. 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. That's a good score.
Mm-hmm.
I would give it a pretty damn solid out of 10.
Hell yeah.
9.5 for me. I liked it just as much as this Homecoming, the first one.
Yeah.
And the third one, the Far From Near From Going Home, whatever it was called.
With the bad gold suit.
Yeah, with Garfield and McGuire. Andrew
Garfield.
Yeah, the Garfield. I hate Mondays. But that was an amazing introduction for many of those characters. I think that Supergirl coming out not long ago was also phenomenal. I think both of those movies made for a very good summer of comic book movies, especially when you throw in the Odyssey, which I believe Homer had originally done as a comic book.
Yeah,
Dope.
Homer drew the Odyssey.
Yep.
He had his friend Iliad, Italian guy.
Thomas Iliad. Yeah. Okay. That's the business out of the way. Now we get to party up front, the mullet equivalent. Django, couple big releases this week, but it almost feels like an annual was maybe the most noteworthy thing of the week because a month ago, Django texted me and was like, hey, this issue might be big stuff for the DC universe. So it was the first thing I read. It was, we ordered heavy on it. Where did you net out on this issue? Superman Annual 2026 #1 resolution to DCKO kind of.
It's the end of DCKO. I don't have the comic in front of me somehow. But holy cow, it's got some good stuff. Like you find out where Superman's been and you get to see Superman do Superman things through time and space and trying to get home. I don't know where my comic is.
And us being gone, you know, our chronology of weeks is kind of out of sync. But last week did see Action Comics 1100 come out. And that kind of tied in directly to the Superman special that we read this week. And me being confused and out of town, I read both of those back to back, which was very, very cool. But it also added a little extra context for me of what exactly is going on. So, Roman, I think you're the only one with that specific issue in front of you. What did you think about it? How have you felt about Superman missing, but how do they wrap that up as well?
It was great. It was fun. I mean, the art's fantastic. And it's fun seeing Superman running around in this like light construct Kirby style headdress thing.
Yeah,
I
very
don't know.
Kirby.
Yeah, I don't know what it's for or anything, but it looks cool. It was fun. It was a great Superman adventure. I mean, we got to see the future Hourman, the android Hourman with his cool like time barge thing. And of course,
Hourman just underrepresented in modern DC.
Yes. Nobody seems to care about Hourman anymore.
Just ask
Yeah.
Roman.
Just a good DC time travel thing. All sorts of weird stuff with the setting up the new is it Joshua Williamson Legion of Superheroes title?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That seems to be the main sticking point of this issue, which is we've heard that the Legion of Superheroes are coming back, and they kind of made this DCKO ambiguous ending tie into Superman, kind of bringing back the Legion of Superheroes to main continuity, which is awesome because I have people at our shop that love the Legion of Superheroes, but I can't help from the vantage of somebody who's been working in a comic shop for a while to remember just like 5 years ago when this happened again with Brian Bendis. And it felt pretty similar.
Was that right before COVID?
I think so, yeah. Like Millennium and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. We kind of ran into some publishing problems there. I'm glad that they get another stab at it.
I am too. I am, like previously, I am excited for an opportunity to read and attune to and enjoy the Legion of Superheroes. But I will say that it kind of intimidates me because having a kind of clear jumping on point 5 or 6 years ago didn't nail it for me. And I can't help but worry, is this a franchise that, like, if you weren't reading it back in the day, it's hard to get into now?
My experience. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wonder about that too, because like there's a villain that shows up in the middle of this Superman fights that as soon as he shows up, I was like, oh, cool, it's that guy from Legion of Superheroes. But I was also thinking, how many people even recognize that character? It'll be curious. I don't like the redesign of some of the Legion's costumes of this new title, but I'm excited to read it again.
I feel like one of the more interesting properties for DC because it is some people's favorite stories in comics and some of their favorite characters. But it is a line that it has been quite a while since it was at the heights that it was at its peak. And DC values it clearly and wants to bring it back and has tried multiple times. But yeah, like it's one of the few comic booky things where I'm like, is it hard to bring that back? Kind of like the new Teen Titans. Like a lot of those characters have kind of aged, but we also remember specific characters in it. So we try to pay homage to it and write series for them, but has the time passed? And I don't feel like the time has ever fully passed, but it is an interesting, like trying to reclaim the highs of the Legion of Superheroes seems to be a thing that hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, it depends on the creative team because, Mark Waid did it and Jeff Johns did it, though Johns was more kind of within Justice League context.
And Jeff Johns is Jeff Johns. Like,
yeah,
Mark Waid's the only other guy I would say could probably pull off what, Jeff Johns does.
Yeah, I've always had a really hard time getting into Legion of Superheroes, maybe because there's a lot of characters and they never just let you hang out with one or two of them.
They need to have the Colonel be a 6-issue miniseries that you're just spending time with like 4 characters with, and then
Saturn Girl and Matter Eating Lad,
and then Gold Suit Guy, and just like slowly expand outwards from that. But
that must be Wildfire.
Yeah, it must be.
You know what Saturn Girl and Matter Eating Lad are for me?
No.
Pikachu and Blastoise.
Those are 2 Pokemons whose name are classic and were pronounced perfectly, and there was a visual association with. He even went so far as to mention a rookie stage Pokemon, a basic level, Pikachu, and Blastoise, a final evolution. However, mentioning them in tandem makes sense because water type has a weakness to electric type. So Pikachu fighting Blastoise could even be a thing that might be a duel, might be a bout, might be a KO.
See, and now it looks like I know something about Pokemon.
Yes, exactly.
It's
I've got
like
your
when I
back.
say matter eating lad, looks
Yeah.
like maybe I know something about the Legion.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I'd mentioned, like Action Comics 1100 ties in to this, and they're almost like two parts of the same thing when young Superman comes and saves him. So I liked getting to read both of those on the same week in tandem. You know, I think the DC KO mystery of where Superman was could have been a little bit more like immediate or feel like it has consequences as a byproduct of something that had just happened. And instead, it does feel sort of like an editorial move to bring the Legion. But again, always excited to take a stab at the Legion.
What do you if you could ignore his silly energy helmet?
Oh, you were up when Roman and I were talking about liking the Kirby-esque energy helmet
Yeah,
that I
that
feel
was
like
awesome.
Dang.
Final Crisis like had some homage moments to as well, like the glowing Kirby-ness of it. I'm gonna give it an 8.0. I thought it was good. Left me wanting a little bit, but not at all because of what it lacked, just like things I was hoping for. So I have to put that on me.
I'm gonna also give it an 8.0.
I'm going to give it an 8.5, but I agree. It left me a little wanting more.
Maybe that's the point.
Maybe that's the point. We all want more Legion. Hey, there was another annual from DC Comics that came out this week that similarly was written by Tom Taylor. Oh, sorry. No, I was course correcting. I was course correcting to that one. But I was going to mention Batman Superman World's Finest. This one co-written by Mark Waid and Mark Russell. The Marky Marks, and you could consider me a Marky Mark for the two of these guys writing comics together. So this one actually was just full on written by Mark Russell, but World's Finest has been handled largely by Mark Waid for a while now. And this was a Father's Day, like the cover indicates for anybody watching at home live or on the YouTube channels. Take your dad to work day. It was Father's Day. And Superman and Batman decide to go to dinner with their dads. And obviously they get pulled away on a kind of just very mechanically great adventure. Like a thing that we need more street level fights in comics. This was a thing that Superman and Batman and Flash all got hung up on that was just sort of like they entered a room and they couldn't leave without a bunch of shit blowing up in different cities. So they were trapped there. The world wasn't about to end or anything, but it did mean that, you know, Pa Kent and Alfred had to hang out at dinner together while both their boys had disappeared. And then they, in an effort to save or protect their boys, go to find them where they are and solve the problem. But all of that is really just the dressing for a bunch of kind of good superhero dad stuff, right?
I didn't read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. We should have gone to the other one. Django,
no, that's fine.
You're going to love this issue. I guarantee
it. I read the first 5 issues of World's Finest and then dropped off, 7 years ago or something crazy like that. And it's just a blind spot, even though every single time you guys talk about it and every single issue that I hear about, it sounds like exactly my thing. I just haven't picked it back up.
I'm going to read the Detective Comics annual with Lobo, the bad boy, written by Tom Taylor. You're going to pick this one up, written by your guy, Mark Russell. All right. Okay, well, that narrows things down. Roman, what did you think of this World's Finest annual?
I really liked it. I liked the second story by Mark Waid better with the fifth dimensional imps.
Yeah.
The first story, I liked everything that happened. I liked the trap. I liked Alfred and Pa Kent interacting, but it kind of bothered me. Sorry, Mark Russell. It kind of bothered me that he kind of portrays Pa Kent as more of a hayseed than he is.
What is a hayseed?
Hayseed.
Hayseed. A dirt kicker, a clodhopper.
Okay. Yep, I'm here. I get it.
A doofus on the farm. And it's not that he's dumb or anything. It's just that the way he talks and everything, and he wears his overalls to dinner, and it's like, come on, Pa Kent's a smart guy, and you know, when I lived on a farm, we didn't wear our overalls to dinner, especially a thing like a Father's Day. You know, those are for the farm. You don't. So I was just like, come on, why are you kind of making Pa Kent doofier than he is? So that was my
I feel
only
that.
complaint.
I feel that didn't occur to me, but I can totally see that. To me, it excelled at what Mark Russell does, which is peppering in like weird meta stuff about our current day world. But what this is kind of a timeless flashback to a moment that isn't defined here and doesn't necessarily even perfectly fit into continuity. But because Batman Superman World's Finest is a series that has historically at this point taken place in the past, we just get to finally say like, all right, cool, like Pa Kent and Alfred are here. It feels a little bit like their outfits are just kind of like dialed in to be like, this is farm guy and this is butler guy. But and I would go as far as to say like even their characterization maybe leans a little more into that. Like maybe Pa Kent is slightly less attuned to like Alfred's what he's given Bruce or something. But really, I think that it centers on really like Pa Kent being aware of what it means to be a father to a child, and Alfred having some sense of insecurity about how much he cares about this kid who is his son. But in reality, like he is his father as much as Pa Kent is Superman's father, right? So yeah, I like the idea of kind of taking care of Alfred, or like wanting to see his vulnerability about the insecurity he has about his role in this child's life, who he loves and cares about, whereas Pa Kent's is more secure or something. But the way that they find both of their sons in a problem and then go and solve it together, while also kind of after school specialing, just kind of understanding themselves in the context of one another. Like I loved that. Yeah, I thought it was just like Mark Russell just threaded the needle perfectly again of this isn't a world-ending threat. This is just like these guys are missing because they're in this specific problem. Being able to create an easily escapable problem the way that they did is something that like Mark Russell can do perfectly, but I feel like a lot of people try to like make it larger than it is. It's great. As a guy with daddy issues, as a guy who loves Superman and Batman, as a guy who likes to fill in for parents for other people, I loved it. Django, I think that you will really dig it. I agree with Roman. The backstory by Mark Waid is very good. But I think the front matter is something that Django, I would say, Mark Russell, there were no overt banana references. However, I give this issue a 9.0.
Nice. That's a good score.
Yeah, I'll even with my complaints, I'll give it a 9.0 as well, because both stories were really fun to read.
They're good. And the artists deserve some credit as well. But I'm taking up time to do that. Clayton Henry and Pat Boughton. Both the art was pretty good. Like I liked it. It's not Dan Mora, who has done a lot of the art on this book, but it didn't feel like it was missing something. So shout out to those artists for sure.
Sweet.
Django, take me to another annual.
Well, yeah, let me take you to Detective Comics 2026 annual. And I'd like to point out, it was called Superman Year 1000 or Year 10,000 annual #1, and everything else is Detective Comics 2026 annual. So I like that they're
cool.
They play a little game there. This Detective Comics is mostly written by Tom Taylor with art by Nicola Scott, and there's a backup story also, but the main story, Jeff, I think you're going to dig. It's got Lobo coming to Gotham to hunt down Batman because he's been paid by a king on another planet, and Batman's like, well, I wasn't there. Can I pay you the same amount to take me to him alive instead? And we can solve this mystery. And Lobo's like, I love getting paid twice. And so they go to solve this mystery, and like all that is fine and nice. But the real thing is that there's like this thing that makes them imagine their happiest place. It's a weapon that the king uses. And I think like the happiest place for Batman is it just like it just gets you over and over and over. And
Dang.
it's
Okay.
like, we've seen that before, but I really liked this take on it, on
What
he
is
wishes his life was
Lobo's
like.
happiest place?
That's
murdering people?
That's the entire.
Yeah, that's
I can't tell you. You have to read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the last page reveal kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the whole punchline. It's great.
Yeah.
And
Really.
the
good.
art is fantastic.
Yeah, I really like Nicola Scott. She just did the what was that so and so rip off the Justice League comic? Was it Cheetah and
yeah.
Oh,
Cheetah
Cheetah.
and
Yeah, the Greg Rucka one.
Cheshire.
Cheshire and Cheetah.
Yeah.
Rip off the Justice League. That was really good. The art on that was great. This, Jeff, I wouldn't normally recommend a Lobo book to you, especially an annual size one, but I think you would find some juicy meat in there.
It's crazy that you would say that you wouldn't recommend a Lobo book to me, and yet
you have.
Yet I have a stack of the comics that you've given to me that are Lobo centric.
I think you'll come to appreciate it.
Is everyone else's back itching?
Mine's
No,
fine.
Just
I
mine?
gave you my
All right.
itches.
Oh, you dry skinned son of a bitch.
I just want to add to that not the back, but I want to add to the comic that and I didn't expect much from a Lobo Batman team up because I just didn't think, well, that's not going to work very well, but it works wonderfully. This was great.
Yeah.
And I really like the
9.5
backup
for
story.
me.
Oh yeah, and I really like the backup story too, just because it involves struggling artist and Professor Pig, and it's great.
Can't relate.
Yeah. That was awesome. That art in that was cool too. Fran Mariscal, written by Dave Weiglos. Jeff, I think when I was reading it, I was like, oh, Jeff's going to love this front part. And then I read the back of it. And I was like, Jeff's going to not read the back, but I'm going to wish he did. So I would recommend going the whole way through.
Jeff and Django both need to learn how to read comics for themselves and not for the other person. Because I'm always like, oh, Django's going to feel this way in this movie or whatever. Yeah.
And then he doesn't read it.
Yep. Roman, what was your score?
I'm gonna give this a 9.5.
Nice.
Pair of
Double
9.5 boys.
Well, Roman, you are our silver-haired maven of a corner of the Marvel Universe this week. I read the main issue, but there were a couple tie-ins that came out for it as well. So Al Ewing's Queen in Black is continuing. I guess it's kind of starting, even though while I was in San Diego, I think one of the main bonding experiences I had with anybody I talked to that was ordering comics was their frustration with the fact that they had to order issue number 3 of Queen in Black before our shops had even received issue number 1.
Oh.
So interesting. So I'm curious, Roman, I read just the main issue of it, but you also read one of the tie-ins for it. How are you feeling about Queen in Black? I think that you've been relatively dialed in with Al Ewing's Venom run up to this point, because Al Ewing is one of your guys. What did you think?
It's as these things go, cosmic big old crossovers are going to be destroyed again, blah, blah, blah. It was pretty good. Yeah, and if it hadn't been for Al Ewing writing these, I wouldn't have bothered reading it. But as you said, I do really like him, and I'm pretty caught up on Venom, though actually one thing in here surprised me. I don't care about Null as a villain, because I'm just like, he's just another version of Thanos. He wants to kill everything in the universe, yada, yada.
You know what?
But Roman, I agree. And one of the things that throws in the jazz of ordering comics with this is that we just had a 5-issue Null miniseries wrap up. And I was surprised at what the general comics off the shelf buying community thinks of Null, because they're into him. We sold out of our Null issues. I would say Donny Cates with the King in Black and all of that had done a thing to kind of establish an amount of enthusiasm and excitement for what that character can do. So that was one of the big mysteries of ordering Queen in Black #1, is just that I don't know how much that is coming off of Donny Cates' Venom run, King in Black stuff. Is it Null the character? But there is an amount of interest in that character. So what was the 30-second pitch for what's going on here?
30-second pit. Apparently, Null is now a light-based power set, but he's somehow found the darkness within that. And he wants to conquer the Earth because the Earth is going to be. He wants to kill everything in the universe, but to do so, he wants to conquer the Earth for reasons. All the non-Null controlled symbiotes and the superheroes need to stop him.
Okay. Why is
character.
Hela got the powers?
Oh, I don't remember. Do you remember?
Oh no, I don't have the issue in front of me. I had to go in early on Wednesday to read a couple comics that hadn't been delivered to me, and that was one of them. So
I'm skimming the recap page. Blah blah blah.
Good audio,
isn't it? Somehow at some point I didn't read it wherever this happened, but Hela drained Null's powers and became the Queen in Black.
Okay.
And she also wants to mess up the Earth for reasons, including that her and Beta Ray Bill and Tyr, the Asgardian god of war, are the only Asgardians that still remember Asgard and still remember Thor, because over in Mortal Thor, there was a spell or something that made everyone forget about Thor and Asgard, except for those three.
I'll say that Donny Case's Venom run and the King in Black, while being a thing that permeated a lot of the Marvel universe, also had an amount of like self-containedness. And this feels like it's able to do that same thing, where it seems like a cosmic effect that is affecting everything, but at the same time, they're able to go buck wild with it in a way that feels contained, even though the consequences should be larger and out there than that. So, like, I think it's capturing a lot of the same things that the King in Black and Donny Cates run were able to capitalize on. But yeah, I am very interested in what the direction of it is forward. You read one of the tie-ins that came out this week, right?
Yeah, I read The Queen in Black, Defenders of Light and Dark, #1.
Light and Dark.
Light and Dark. Which is Cable's, well, Iron Man and Cable have formed teams, one light-based and one darkness-based,
as you do,
fight the Null's new light-based symbiotes, to fight them on Earth and try and save the Earth. It was fine. Nothing super special, except of course a cliffhanger ending. And I'm very curious about Tyr and Hela and Beta Ray Bill, because Beta Ray Bill is so frustrated because he keeps talking about
Ray Bill.
You better. He keeps talking about, Thor and stuff, and Iron Man. Everybody else is like, "What the hell are you talking about? Quit telling us these fantasies. What's a Thor?" And that's kind of a cute little through line of both issues so far. Is you feel bad for him, and it had a good cliffhanger.
I don't remember that memory wipe happening, but you are a big Al Ewing fan.
Yep.
So where does this rank in the Al Ewingness of it all? Is it something you're excited about? Is it at least capitalizing on, some of those Al Ewing concepts that we all love, like the Ultimate Square and that sort of stuff?
Not really. I mean, it's definitely not approaching the same level as his Ultimate stuff. I kind of wonder, how much of all this was Al Ewing's idea and how much was like, editorial directions, because it's definitely cosmic and all that, and they do some fun stuff at the very end that kind of fits in with his goofy fun stuff on Venom. But yeah, it's not up there with his best cosmic work.
I'll say that, like, what he's doing with Venom and our readership for that series isn't like breaking the charts in terms of the numbers, but the number of people that are like interested in it, buying it off the shelf, like it has an internally built-in readership that I feel like, his time over there has earned. It's a pretty interesting, like, loyal group of people who've been reading his Venom stuff for quite a while. So I'm glad that he gets the chance to, have a large stage for it.
Yeah, and it's fun. I mean, because I didn't think I'd care about a Venom comic, but he keeps me reading it. I mean, sometimes just for the sheer goofiness of it. And I'm looking forward to reading Venom. I'm looking forward to this. The other one is the Queen in Black Hela #1, also by Ewing. But I'm excited to read it because the artist is Charles Magno, and it's beautiful art.
That art sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I can't remember what else he's done. I think it's Charles Magno.
I think getting to combine the Midgard, the Asgard of it all, with the kind of celestial space null Queen in Black of it all is a pretty cool invitation for two separate things. So I am eager to keep up with it and see what he does, because Al Ewing seldom does things that are uninteresting.
And of course, he's writing Thor and Mortal Thor, so it's going to tie into that, and hopefully I suspect this will be a way of bringing Thor back and bringing Asgard back to people's memories.
Right.
And I'm sorry, it wasn't Charles Magno, it's Carlos Magno.
Okay. But Roman, that brings up a very logical question, which is, what is your score? And then a secondary question.
Score for Queen in Black #1, I'll give it a 7.5.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm going to go 7.5 as well.
Queen in Black Defenders of Light and Dark, I'll give it a 6. It's perfectly adequate.
Okay. All right. Well, the secondary question that brings up is that if Django had 90 seconds to talk about the comics you read this week, what would they be? Go.
Well, they weren't all from this week, but I did read Action Comics number 1100. I really liked it, although I feel like there's something super weird going on with Booster Gold. He's being even more careless with the timeline than he normally is. But like Mark Waid and Tom Taylor as the first two stories, and then Sophie Campbell as the next one. Awesome stuff. I also read Shaolin Cowboy Staying AI Live #1. Very good. Had me laugh out loud. I like how much that guy hates dumb stuff. I also read Dark Knights of Steel #1. Dark Knights of Steel 2 #1. I would like to see different art in here. It's Otto Schmidt, but it's like colored as if it's animated, sort of. And I didn't love it like I expected to. I really enjoyed Absolute Superman #21, except for their stupid power helmets. I don't like their power helmets. They're just like electronic power thingamabob helmets. And Dog Tag #3, guys. Dog Tag #3 by Mark Russell. What is it? PJ Holden, probably. Yep. And JP Jordan. Just following this guy's journey through World War II. When he gets a hug from Marlene Dietrich, it almost made me start crying. So, yeah, like the absurdity of war, and it's just like Garth Ennis level weird sadness.
When the first book you talked about was that Action Comics 1100?
Yeah.
I loved when we went to the Sophie Campbell backup and they did the like Superboy Prime meta, like, well, this is Sophie Campbell's arc, so we get to explore our feelings. Like,
right.
I like that aspect of Superboy Prime, getting to do that sort of stuff with it. So yeah, I really like that issue as well. And I read it this week tying into the Superman annual, so that worked out well.
Yeah, it's interesting because it seems to be like just a sampler of all of the Superman series that are coming out right now. But
yeah,
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good stuff.
Heck yeah.
Django, did you get a chance to read the Dark Knights of Steel 2 one-shot special that was just about Aquaman and being raised by the Kents?
I haven't yet. Aquaman is a real hard sell for me. I brought it home and I will read it. It just did not bubble up to the top of this stack of 75 comics I've got.
That one was 2 weeks ago, the first issue, and I liked it quite a bit. I like Otto Schmidt's art a lot. It didn't shine in the same way that some of his other stuff has. Yeah. But as far as like integrating people back into the Dark Knights of Steel universe, I thought it did a really good job.
Yeah.
The marriage that was in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I brought it up because I liked it better than the Dark Knights of Steel 2 #1.
Did it come out this week?
It was last week. Yeah,
okay.
It was the week after Dark Knights of Steel 2 #1 came out.
Okay. Well, dang, there goes my segue. Roman, minute 30, go.
Oh, jeez. I got to talk about the horror of Godzilla #1. The horror themed Godzilla book. I was so looking forward to this, and it's pretty good. I like the art. The art by it's written by Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan, artist Tristan Jones. It's dark and grimy, the artwork, and Godzilla is looming and horrible and scary. And apparently, it's not clear yet, but apparently his radioactivity is just affecting people all over on the ground and mutating them into horrible monsters. Godzilla's got these horrible little glowy piggy eyes sunk into his dark black face, and it's scary. It's horror. Read The Patron #1, which I was interested in because I work in a museum, and this is all about a arts patron that lines up artists with different shows and exhibits, but in order to make their art really sell, his theory is, well, artists' work always sells better after they're dead. So then he engineers their deaths
Nice.
in order so he can keep making money off of their work as the agent representing them. And it was pretty intriguing. I like that setup. I like the premise. He's basically a serial killer taking advantage of poor creative artist types. Concrete #2, Concrete Stars Over Sand #2. Beautiful. This is such, as usual, Paul Chadwick. Such a gorgeous book.
Dude,
great premise.
I missed issue #2. I loved issue #1.
Wasn't it great? I mean, the
It
whole
was so good.
Yeah, Concrete's hit by lightning, and it gives him, it seems like worse than usual amnesia because he doesn't even remember things like what exactly the moon is.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
and he's
excited
just-
to read #2 because
Yeah.
that first one was amazing. Paul Chadwick does not live far from here, so
Yeah.
I'm in the early stages of trying to get him into the shop.
Oh, that'd be
Nice.
so awesome. And he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, Concrete just wandering the desert. And there's some beautiful shots in this that he draws of, because I forgot Concrete's eyes have a wider range of perception than human eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like laying on the sand, staring up at the night sky and seeing lights and nebula and stuff that we can't see. And it's gorgeous.
Nice.
Okay, Django, did you also read The Patron?
No.
Okay, Roman, I liked that first issue. Interestingly, that first issue of The Patron is written by Christian Ward with art by John J. Pearson. Christian
Yes.
Ward, more prominently in my mind, an artist for books. So he's writing this one. So it makes kind of sense. It's dovetailed into, the idea of a struggling artist. Yeah, Roman. Similarly, I dug it, and I thought the art was really unique and kind of watercolory. But what Roman didn't mention is that there's kind of a twist at the end of this issue, which there is this guy who is seeking out artists to represent, and it seems like he has a nefarious thing that he does with them, where maybe he kills them or causes their death, so the value of the art skyrockets. But the artist that he most recently did that with and kind of framed a heroin overdose with sends him a painting after his death to the guy. So there's some sort of supernatural element to it as well, like a new painting from post-death. So
Nice.
I am interested to see where that goes. I like Christian Ward a lot, and the Ignition folks, I think they're, again, like I've said, pop-up imprints like this or small publishers are awesome, and I think that there's enough of them going on right now that you have to sort of sell yourself appropriately to make it work, and Ignition is doing it correctly, where they are making a constant stream of books that are all very unique with different personalities, and there's no huge gaps between subsequent issues or wondering when the next issue from that series is going to come out. So Ignition doing well. I liked The Patron a lot.
Yeah Did I give scores? I don't know.
No.
Okay. The Patron, I will give an 8. Horror of Godzilla, I'm going to give that an 8. It probably doesn't really deserve it, but I love Godzilla. I love horror. So combining the two is why hasn't this been done before?
Nice.
Concrete, going to give it a 10.
Yeah.
Dang.
Concrete's just gorgeous.
Awesome.
I'm bummed that one didn't end up in my stack, but it will. The only difference there, I would say, Patron gets an 8.5 from JFig. Yeah, that's where I'm
Nice.
coming from. Hey,
Well,
Django.
Jeff, do you want a minute 30?
Would you mind if I took a little 90-second session for myself?
Please do. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, I'll give you a countdown when we're done too,
Okay,
so you
thank
don't
you.
get caught off guard. Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
going. Minute and 30, 28, 27, 26.
Oh, it's like going now.
25. Yeah, it's going down now.
Okay. Laser Quest
122.
One Shot by Floating World Comics out of Portland. This is a black and white comic about the Laser Quest business. Maybe this means nothing to you. Maybe you're like me, where you lived close to a Laser Quest, so you drove 2 hours to host birthday parties or attend birthday parties there. This is an indie comic about some weird murderous mysteries that happen in a Laser Quest and people going missing. But what is incredible about it is how many verbal phrases they said that were totally, I remember people talking about yelling Marshall. They're drawing the maze in there. It feels exactly the same. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then this is falling on deaf ears. But if you do, I think it would be deeply resonant with you. But I would say the coolest thing about this is written and drawn by somebody who isn't an insane talent. You could do this. You can do it. You can make comics that are black and white that are resonant with you. And this one would be a great inspiration. So if you are a struggling comic book artist trying to get some inspiration, Laser Quest One Shot, do it. I also want to talk about Black Star #1 from Titan Comics. The most notable thing about this is that one of the 3 writers for it is Kristen Crook, who played Lana Lang in Smallville, which is crazy. She narrowly escaped the cults that her friend did not escape. But this is kind of like a weirdly
sorry, I forgot to give you your time.
Oh, it's all right. Timeless people who live with maybe some powers. You know, that.
Nice.
Laser Quest. Django, Laser Quest is cool. I don't know that you grew up by a Laser Quest, but it was the crown jewel of any laser tag thing. It was like these giant warehouses that were like 3 or 4 stories large that had these custom mazes built in them that they would shift throughout it. And you would wear a giant like vest that had multiple tag spots. I worked at Ultrazone in the 90s. Laser Quest were the enemy. Okay, so Mad Prophet Tommy disagrees. So Tommy, at least you know enough about this to like get in the weeds with me and disagree. For the sake of the rest of this conversation, I'm going to pretend that I'm right and that it is the best, but I support you. I have so many memories for so long about this building and the way that they drew aspects of this building that like clearly it was part of the chain of them, but I like knew that entranceway and all of them, when you would be waiting out in the waiting zone for getting in there, they had this incredibly stacked arcade. So like the most time I spent in an arcade were the Laser Quest arcades playing Tekken and all those racing games. So I think above all else, this is an inspiring book for people who want to make comics because in here, you can see that the story is conveyed. The anxiety of the mystery is conveyed. It's all black and white. And it just gives you the feeling that like, you can do this. You can make a comic book and convey what you want it to convey. And you don't need to rely on 100 other people to do it or a publisher to do it. This is just put out by Floating Worlds in Portland. So very cool, nostalgic for me. Black Star #1. The art is the coolest part in here. It's kind of Martin Simmons-y from Department of Truth, a little bit like
it's
murky.
Literally Martin Simmons. The cover is Martin Simmons anyway.
Yep, the cover is Martin Simmons for sure.
Oh, yeah, the inside's Joe Bucardo.
Yeah, and it wasn't bad. It has the same trappings that like a comic book that maybe actors or writers are doing for the first time, but I like kind of weirdly metaphysical, biblical, alternate history things with some timeless people who can heal and stuff. So the art was gorgeous. The writing was fine. I give Laser Quest a 9 and Black Star a 7.5.
Nice. Good.
Yep.
Good scores. I need to check out. I flipped through Laser Quest, but I got to read the whole thing.
It's quick. It's really quick. It's a lot of pages, but it's.
I didn't want to take it.
Yeah.
Because it was our second to last copy or something.
Yeah, it's. You know, I really don't know how ubiquitous Laser Quests are. I only know of the one that was in Spokane that I went to
Yeah.
all the time. But the cover of this is amazing. It's like Laser Quest in its prime, and then the bottom half of the image is like an abandoned Laser Quest, which is what
Nice.
probably happened to all of those. So shout out all those weird parents that brought their kids to Laser Quest for birthday parties.
Was there also a laser zone back then?
Well, let's see.
I
What's
think I had a
Ultra
laser
Zone.
zone.
We got Mad
No,
Prophets. Tommy is here mentioning every Ultra Zone had a unique layout. I don't know.
I just can't remember because I know the one time I played laser tag was up at some place in Canada with Chris Clow and the then Comics Place crew.
The
But
bummer is
I don't know what it was called.
the bummer is that they can be really lame. They can just be like a room with fake walls set up. But this one had like smoke machines and crazy walls. You could find like a crow's nest and look down at people.
Yeah, the one I was in, it
chains
had
and-
it had like scaffolding and stuff you could go up
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we should go do one as a comic shop. Just close the
I
entire
was-
shop
I
for a
was
day.
so bad at it.
Yeah. Well, Django would be good at it.
Sniping.
Yep, you're a good sniper. I don't know if we have anything else that we need to get to today, as Django and I are rebuilding an
Yeah.
understanding of the weekly release of comic books. But Django, there's a pretty cool thing coming up in August that wouldn't be bad to plug for our listeners and viewers here.
Is this our Gundam night on Friday the 21st? Or is this our Roberta Gregory signing that's happening on August 15th?
Is Pack Nerd Way not at the end of August?
Oh, right. We also have Pacific Nerd West at the end of August on the 29th. So lots of fun stuff happening at the Comics Place in and around and about our store.
Yeah.
Tickets are available now for Pacific Nerd West. Look for time announcements for Roberta Gregory pretty soon. And I don't remember what time we start Gundam, but I feel like it's 5:30 or 6.
Yeah, I think we're going to start it at 6 o'clock on the 21st was what we had just settled not long ago.
Yeah. And book club is coming up.
Yeah, so the Comics Place is hopping and happening. If you are listening and watching this and you are not a part of a nerd community and you want to be, I do think the Comics Place in Bellingham, Washington is offering a lot of opportunities for you to do that. Craig Mueller is in the chat mentioning book club. Thursday nights are book club. And anytime I go in for my Thursday close shift and it's not a book club night, I get a little bit sad because I love getting to be upstairs at the book club, hearing and contributing to that conversation. So Craig Mueller is helping run an incredible book club, as well as Andrew Carlson. Andrew Carlson deserves a big round of applause for editing and putting out the podcast every week. As Django and I become more scattered and haphazard, it is those things are going up at the right time, and we are very grateful to have somebody who is making sure it happens. So Andrew Carlson, friend of the show, Fotsworth, thank you so much. Craig Mueller, the book club, Hearts, it's good. Yeah, it's a pretty exciting month at the Comics Place coming up here, so I'm excited to see a lot of you in there. Gundam Night, the 21st. I've been there for all of those. I love those. If you like Gundams, if you just like being around Gundams, if you want to watch Gundam, if you want to smell people building Gundam, we're doing it. All the Gundams are on sale when we do those events. So definitely come in and check it out. And then for the 13th of this month is Sex Criminals at the Comics Place Book Club. Sex Criminals, one of my favorite hilarious books that was coming out when I started working at the shop. The art's amazing. It's what started, well, it's the second thing in Django's love affair with Chip Zdarsky. So definitely be a part of that. A lot of plugs. I'm loving it, but mostly I'm just glad to be back. I don't have a scheduled trip until October, if I'm remembering correctly. So that's cool.
Dang, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Roman, don't tell him that he said he might want to go to Portland for Rose City at some point.
I do want to do
in
that.
September. Don't tell Jeff.
Yeah, mum's the word.
Not scheduled, but potential there for it. Listen, you guys, I've got to get to another thing too. I have my son's birthday party to go to. I am less than a minute late right this moment.
Shout out Max Boren turning 28 years old.
Happy birthday, Max.
1 million. Wait, how old does that make me?
You're 12.
Cow, guys, I'm going to die soon.
Yeah,
all right. Well, listen, we're all going to go collectively take care of one of our sons. So the three of us are going to go head to Max's birthday party. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for listening. We love all of you. Big, again, shout out. Thank you for Will Elmer and Craig Mueller for sending emails to us this week. You can contribute by sending an email to jeff@thecomicsplace.com. If not, just keep watching. That's a great thing too. Thank you, Andrew Carlson, and we will see you next week because we'll be here because we're not leaving town until October.
Nope.
So come to Pacific Nerd West.
I play the whistle.
I know it. There's a specific spot that if you play it, it harmonizes really well.
Yeah, I don't know that the reaction time works.
Yeah,
at
that
all.
makes sense. That makes sense.